All right. On the bottom of the deck, we have the World card. It is in the reverse. For some of you, there may be a delay in a cycle of completion. And when I do say a cycle of completion, I mean a big life cycle or a change in a major area of your life. For example, termination of employment, a new change, like a birth of a child. It could be anything that is a change in one way to another in living. I'm putting that in a clumsy way. But in the upright, you can see here, we have the oak, the green man here, with symbolized by the oak, which is the summer in a sense, right? We also have, we've got a bald eagle here, a lion, a deer, a person. The world card's associated with Saturn, and we are having Saturn energy, of course, right now, as we are in that time of year. And I do apologize. I kind of have a head cold, and sometimes that can affect my ability to put what I'm feeling and thinking into words. This is kind of a slowing, perhaps, of the beginning of something that's coming in that is new for you, right? Now, we see this first card here, the Eight of Cups. And definitely that's what is on your mind. That's how you're oriented right now. That's what you're thinking to do. But there may be some slow delay. It is going to be coming in, though. That's the good thing about the world, even in reverse, is that we know it's coming. It's just kind of a matter of when. But how comfortable you are as you wait for these changes to occur is up to you. There's something to be said about peaceful waiting. So remember, sometimes it's how we think about a situation that gives us its impact for good or for bad. But we will be having this change, right? Now, the Emperor we see coming up, the Emperor could be associated with Aries. We also have the Magician in reverse. So there's something that you're leaving in order to really kind of establish your kingdom, right? These are the cards that sort of represent what you're thinking about doing, what you want to do, what you'd like to create or manifest. This Magician in reverse could indicate that some of you might be worrying that you're not going to be able to manifest what it is that you want. Maybe you're having fears about your ability to become the Emperor and to really create the environment. This doesn't have to be specific to sex either here, by the way. A woman can represent the energy of the Emperor as well. But you see he's watching the kids playing over here. He's in armor. He knows sometimes he has to defend his home, his castle, his kids, his spouse, right? But he is definitely someone who can... he's the person who owns his own business, self-made millionaire type. Maybe you're not going to be making millions, but maybe it's really about getting your personal whatever off the ground. I'm working on my website. Maybe you're working on your own business as well, or a side business. Maybe you're leaving something, and you're hoping to be able to move into this new energy. Maybe you're leaving an old relationship for an Aries. And maybe not. Maybe you're leaving this business job situation because you want to try this over here, this new thing. And the Emperor could represent relationship, could represent your business or career, it could represent anything, the whole picture for that matter. The Magician in reverse, again, that may be that there's some kind of a delay in getting that forward. Could be that you're dealing with a manipulative Gemini or going to be dealing with that person. So be very careful if part of what you want to do is leave this solid, sober Aries type for a manipulative Gemini. Just be really careful. Don't give away the kingdom. Be sure that you know what you're doing and that you've come at it not just from an emotional level, but also from a dispassionate and logic level. Does what you're doing make sense on paper? If it doesn't, you may need to pause and have another think on an issue. Okay, yeah, I do apologize. My head cold's been moving into my chest, and so it gives me shortness of breath. And then when I hold the cards up like this, I'm crossing my arms, and then I can't breathe at all almost. I can just imagine me passing out in the middle of this reading. Anyhow, that may be funnier to me than anyone else. Anyhow, Four of Cups here, we see that somebody's displeased with some offering that's coming in, right? Could be you just plain did not care for what was being offered to you, and that could be why your mind is set on moving on from the situation, right? You were not happy with what was being offered. Now, we do have to be careful, just like anything, we have to be careful that we're engaging our logic with our emotions. It's a head and heart decision, not an either or situation, because we want to be sure that we're not being too fussy. I guess there's a difference between discernment and between discernment and taking care and just refusing everything and being disappointed or not exactly crying over spilled milk, but just this card's associated a lot. Let's see if I can clarify it better, because again, my head cold's affecting my thinking. But this card's associated with bachelors and bachelorettes. Like, it's almost like the person's too fussy to accept even a good thing. Like, here we have some sort of divine or mystical, magical creature offering a cup as well, and this person doesn't want that either. So is it that we're being too fussy in a situation, or is it really that we just haven't had the right fit yet? For a lot of you, you have not found the right fit yet, and that's what that's about. There was something, you know who you are. Especially, I have to bear in mind, too, Leos tend to know who they are and what they want, right? Now, every sign can have a great deal of insight and awareness into who you are. There's always individual variety within that, so I want to throw that out there. But then again, what this is telling me here is that you're not happy about it, or you're not thrilled with it. And we also see here the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups could be, we turn that in the upright position, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces person who's not doing you right. It could be a lover who is not willing to commit, maybe a player, maybe someone who's emotionally manipulative, somebody who's not got your best interests at heart. They're not the person who wants to build with you. Or this could be in the reverse position because they're triggering an insecurity, a disappointment within you. But part of you is looking like you're leaving. So if this is some kind of a romantic situation, it could be that you're feeling some kind of disappointment. You want to leave your situation, possibly even a marriage. These three cards represent your past tense. Now, they could be the present tense, too. They're certainly influencing the direction that you're moving in. But, it just kind of depends. Then we have this here, where we've got all these different competing ideas, goals, and objectives. Everybody's got their opinion. It's kind of, there's 4 people, but there's 5 opinions. Then you've been in that kind of a situation. This is about making that choice, coming out of a conflict, making a choice, just finally saying, all right, well, this is what I'm going to have to pick. They may not all be wonderful solutions or ideas, but you're honing it down, you're narrowing it down, and you're saying, I just need to make it happen. So be it. It is what it is, right? So feeling some disappointment about what's being offered, deciding to make a choice anyway, to put the bickering down, to come out of that negative, hostile situation, and to move forward towards your Knight of Pentacles energy. Now, Knight of Pentacles is slow moving. Pentacles tends to be a very slow suit. It's earth. It's grounded, though. They tend to be the ones that focus on the tiny little details, the jots and tittles of life. But as such, they get so caught up in the detail work that a lot of times they don't move fast enough. Sometimes they're so busy trying to make sure that everything's even and in a row and neat and tidy that they may miss opportunities by being so darn slow. But this is reversed for you. So this could be that business opportunity, that financial situation. I feel like there's going to be something, it's kind of slow, but it's going to erupt. It will come forward. This will move forward. This and the magician in the reverse, again, it's a slowing down of this. And we also saw this world energy. So you're looking for your new cycle to begin. You want to be manifesting, but there's something that you need to wait for first. And it's all in divine timing. So be very careful when you allow yourself to become impatient with things, because that's your choice. Right. For example, when I'm running a group, I tell my clients, 90 minutes takes 90 minutes. And yes, I mean, that's obviously a tautology, but the point I'm trying to make is 90 minutes takes 90 minutes. So if a guy's looking at his wristwatch the whole time we're in the group, he's making himself more uncomfortable, possibly some of the people around him. I'm impervious. I don't absorb that when I'm in a group. I observe it. I don't absorb it. Be as impatient or patient as you choose to be. The people that are patient, that stay present, that participate in the group, they're the ones that tend to be content. The ones that don't, well, they tend to have a very long 90 minutes. Very long 90 minutes. And boredom becomes anger very quickly. So if this is you and you're in some kind of a delay, just remind yourself, you can have a good time. Take a book to the waiting room, take your Nook or your Kindle to the waiting room, play your video game, get up and exercise, come up with a schedule for yourself, get yourself into that exercise routine, learn something online, watch documentary videos, do what you need to do to entertain and interest your mind and keep it active and supple, right? We can choose our discomfort at times. Not all the times, right? Not all the times. Just, but often. Excuse me. Now, we have here, this is also in our present, the shadow side in the reverse. A lot of you have done some serious work. This situation here that was not a loving situation to you, whatever that was, work, business, love, romance, family, home, marriage, partnership, whatever that situation was, you had to face your inner demons. There was bickering, there was discomfort going on around you. You had to face that. You came out of that. You're making decisions. You're trying to establish a kingdom that benefits you. A world that benefits you, where people are not about the bickering and about the mind games and the control freakism and the hostility and the fake crap underneath it all. You're coming out of the shadow energy where you were facing it. You were facing your demons and dealing with other people's and saying, how do I want to live? How much controlled drama do I allow in? How much optional problems am I willing to let into my life? And you are also looking at what were some of the things that this person or persons or situation were triggering in me? What is this learning opportunity all about for me right now? And it's been a big, long learning opportunity. There's a reason that you want to move away from this. There's a reason you want to get out of here. And you have divine support in getting out of here. Somebody has been messing with you on some level. Emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. Making you crappy offers that you didn't want anyway. And you were feeling that energetic suck. That energetic drain. That it really is like coming out and saying, I need to get me some fresh air. And this, reversed like that, you're coming out of that energy. You're beginning to start to feel like yourself again. Beginning to feel the sunshine come back in. Beginning to feel the sunshine behind your eyes when you smile. And how long has it been since you have felt like that? Because you're saying, I'm going to create me an empire. And I'm willing to defend it and protect it from people who would engage in wrongdoing. And I can look at these individuals playing over here, and one of them could even be my inner child. And the other one could be the inner child of my partner or my friend or my family member that I allow to let into my empire. Because that's what it's about, empire building. Taking steps to manifest. There may be a delay in getting to that place, but that's okay too. Sometimes we're in that student mode until we can turn this upright and be really into our manifestation. But it's not going to be a long delay either. This high priest is an edification of spirituality. This is about marriage, right? Not just, we're legal on paper type thing, but where you actually have your physical well-being, your material edifice, if you will, and your spiritual partnership coming together in that. It's sort of the worldly embodiment of the spiritual knowledge within. How can I put this in another way that doesn't sound so nebulous? All right. So we have this magician here in the reverse. We may be concerned about that. Remember that this top row here is kind of mental. It's sort of like what we're thinking about, what we're wishing for, kind of what's on our mind a little bit. The high priest is what is underlying this. This is about some kind of a marital issue or what have you. We're looking forward to this forward movement so that we can start making our living and figuring out what is our soul purpose, our spirit's purpose on this earth. And how do we manifest that in a way that makes sense and matters? What were we put here to do? What were we put here to do? This is where you are headed. This magician will, in fact, turn upright. We don't see that on this table right here, but it will. And this Knight of Pentacles is about forward movement again. After we've been sitting here going, what's going on? You're probably filling out a bunch of forms, waiting for people to get back to you on stuff. He's looking over the world. He's looking over the environment. He has the knowledge, skills, and abilities, and now he's about to bring it forward and manifest it into the earth. I should mention that for some of you, this Knight of Pentacles person with this magician in the reverse, it could be that there's somebody who's, maybe some kind of player energy or something like that, somebody who's not very well grounded, and that could be why this magician's delayed. Could be that there is a breakup of the marriage. The high priest is associated with the sign of Taurus, but so is the Knight of Pentacles, right? Because the Pentacles Earth, that would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here. Taurus for high priest. He's in the upright, though, and the Knight of Pentacles is in the reverse, is kind of immature. It's somebody who, again, they're ungrounded. The high priest is quite grounded. And then the magician could be that Gemini, that manipulative Gemini. Or simply you're having problems getting things off the ground because you're not grounded enough, right? And so in that, you may need to do some meditation, come up with your schedule for all these delays that are coming up here. It may be that you need to do some meditation, some exercise, change your diet, change your sleep patterns, really get yourself on a solid routine. Right? Get yourself on a solid Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty. Get yourself on a solid routine and see if that doesn't make a difference for you. And drink lots of water. I'm preaching to the choir right now, actually. I'm really, really thirsty. But that's this head cold is draining me. Okay. I'm not taking any medication or anything for it. I drink a lot of water, and I don't have a fever, just a headache. I've been doing neti pots, if you know what those are. You can Google those or YouTube neti pot, N-E-T-I. But they're a natural way, kind of like a sinus cavity irrigation system through gravity and salt water. Anyway, no, they don't pay me to promote that. I am, by the way, my friend Leo, Shuffling Art, Sacred Traveler, Oracle cards. They really, really are a beautiful deck, and they work so nicely with the Witch's Tarot here. This is the front of the book. The box looks quite similar. So what guidance, Spirit, if you please, do you have for the sign of Leo And we did have a jumping card here. This is wonderful. Oh, look at this one. Finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. That's this idea here, right? When we're moving away from something and we have felt so displeased with the things that are offering us, we're dealing with effery. You know what I'm trying not to say here, right? We've had to go within, deal with our shadow side. We've had the bickering and the BS. One of these days, I'm just going to lay loose a swear and see if I still have viewers after that. Comments below. Is swearing allowed in these readings? I mean, I find that the more I swear, the worse my vocabulary gets. But finding sanctuary, really choosing your people, not allowing these people with their bad energies and their bickering to get you down and keep you stuck where you don't want to be. But let's see what the book has to say in this. Opening to your spiritual source. Rest, rejuvenate, tune in to your spiritual source. It's in times of retreat and inner sanctuary that you can truly hear the voice of your soul. Go within and find your inner refuge. Be a safe haven for others. Step forward with grace, deliberation, and thoughtfulness. Take moments for reflection. Profound healing of physical and emotional wounds can occur in the stillness of sanctuary. Difficult situations can be averted by taking time to go within. On a little side note, I'm reminded how much, like in the Catholic tradition, the monks and priests, they go on retreats every year, if not more often than that, because they know that they have to go within to be able to hear the voice of God. And that's the same with any of us as we're trying to hear the voice of our soul, our guides, our angels, our helpers. We need that. We need to take time to hear that. The sacred traveler wants you to know sometimes the voyager becomes travel weary. The pack becomes heavy and the journey becomes lackluster. It's in these moments that the traveler needs to step off the path and find a temple or sanctuary to reassess and renew, and to remember what is truly important in life. This gives perspective and new life strategies. Create a place of beauty in your home or in nature that feels sacred and holy, and spend time there, carefully listening to your inner voice. If you've been pushing too hard or struggling to keep going, this is the time to be still and nurture your internal world. Listen to the voice of Spirit.